How you paying for that apartment with $2,400? Huh? Explain it to me. That's the responsibility you want to have? You want to have 2 jobs to not be able to eat still? Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sharabia Kaya, and today we're going to be talking about why you should not rush to grow up. I'm 21 years old, and even though I've barely scratched the surface of adulthood, it's getting hard out here. So I just wanted to help everybody out, my little youngins or whatever, because I see a lot of y'all be rushing to grow up. There were a lot of my peers who wanted to rush to grow up, and I could never understand why, because that's not something I ever wanted to do. I wanted to be a kid forever, but you know, that's not how life works, unfortunately. I could cry.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I'm wiping my imaginary tear over my glasses. Okay, cool. Okay. I see a lot of people rushing to grow up, or a lot of people were forced to grow up fast. And I just feel like until you completely understand what comes with adulthood, you should not be doing that. It's definitely important to try to live in your present. You're gonna be an adult, and you're gonna be an adult for most of your life. So those 18 years, 21 years, I feel like you can't really consider yourself an adult till you're 21, because you technically can't do everything until you're 21. But whatever age you decide that you want to call yourself an adult, I mean, I guess we usually use 18, but you're going to end up those ages anyway. So from 0 to 18, just live your life as a child. You're going to wish for the days where you ain't have to pay for nothing, where you call mommy for everything. I still call mommy, but and dad, but that's besides the point. It feels good to have someone taking care of you instead of having to take care of yourself. My parents are always there for me. I still live with my parents, so it's not, nothing crazy. So I think you should enjoy the present. You should enjoy going to school. You get to see your friends every day. You get to come home to a cooked meal. You get to play. You get to make mistakes. You get to do a bunch of things that probably won't happen when you're an adult, depending on what you have going on in your life. I feel like, well, I wouldn't even say that I feel like, it's kind of a fact. Society definitely pushes young people to grow up quickly. And then it doesn't help that in some families, your parents are pushing you to grow up quickly. Some people might be the oldest in their family. A lot of people that are the oldest in their family, the oldest of their siblings, take on the role of a third parent, or in some households, a second parent. And it just makes life significantly harder for them. I think it's pretty selfish of the parents who do that, because 1, that's kind of lazy, and 2, you're probably teaching your eldest child to kind of resent their other siblings because they have to take care of them. Not only that, I feel like society kind of forces young people to grow up quickly by expecting them to know things that they shouldn't. I'm in college right now. I changed my major, but I also had a bit of a crisis where I was like, am I doing the right thing? Because why would you trust me at 18 years old to make a decision for the rest of my life? I don't understand that. Society basically forces you to plan your future. Whole time, society don't know what they doing either. Go ask any adult. Ain't no way they just had their whole life planned out and it went according to plan, because that's not how life works. Of course, it's good to have goals that you want to meet, but you shouldn't beat yourself up about it if you don't meet it, because it's fantasy. It's what you made up in your head. It's what you hope to happen. But that's just not how it works. Now, for those of you who are watching that might be in high school, my juniors and seniors, if you're getting ready to go to college, or if you're thinking about it, I do have a video on my experience in college, because I am graduating in a few months, and a few tips and tricks and advice on college. So if you want to watch that video is linked down below in the description box, and I think it will help you. Now, how many of you that are under the age of 18 have issues with anxiety or stress? It's you. I know you do. I know you do. Most of us did, or most of us do. It's because the pressure that is put on planning your future stresses you out. It causes anxiety. It makes you nervous. It makes you scared, and it makes you feel overwhelmed. if you don't meet these societal expectations, you might feel inadequate, less than, or just like you're not important. And that's not true. Not only that, when you're younger, a lot of people have a fear of judgment, which makes it even worse. And you need to know that it's okay to not have everything figured out. I still don't have everything figured out. I know people way older than me that don't have things figured out. There are elderly people who still don't have things figured out. A lot of people go with the flow. I'm not saying, go crazy on life. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I'm saying don't feel pressured to do something that you're not ready to do. If you're not ready to go to college, don't go to college. If you don't like the job you're working at, find another job. If you're embarrassed to be staying with your parents, work on that. Because that's crazy. I would never be embarrassed to stay with my parents. These societal expectations and pressures definitely take a toll on your mental health. As I already stated, the stress and the anxiety, but also you'll just be exhausted trying to achieve these things so quickly. You have a whole life ahead of you. It's no point in trying to, compact everything, make everything fast. It's not a race. It's not a race. What's the saying? Slow and steady wins the race. And fast pace has to take a break. Hold on, let me say it again. Slow and steady wins the race, and fast pace has to take a break. When you try to compete with other people, you're just not happy within yourself. You always feel like, oh, I gotta do better than this person, do better than this person. I need to one up that person. And it makes life miserable. And not only that, you can find a lot of older people talking about all these different regrets. They regret that they didn't try this. They regret that they didn't try that. When you're young, you're supposed to explore. You're supposed to explore different options, different job options, different dating options, different options for everything. And you're supposed to explore that so that you can find one that sticks. I feel like this is why sometimes when people are older, they seem like they're having a midlife crisis. I don't believe it's a midlife crisis. I believe it's regret. And they're like, okay, I might not have that much time left on this earth. I need to try everything that I didn't get to try. To avoid things like that, acting out as an adult. I mean, you're an adult. You're supposed to be able to do what you want, but that's what people call it. To avoid that, you need to explore as a young person. Not for everyone. I know that even as a child or a teenager, a lot of people go through a lot of things. But for the most part, when you're young, it might be the happiest that you will ever be in your life. And the reason for that is that you have all these different responsibilities that just keep piling on and piling on. So you won't have time to engage or experience or indulge in all these different things that you were able to do while you're younger. And you'll just feel like your life is just responsibility after responsibility. You don't want that. I want you to be real for a second. Let's do something real quick so I can show y'all. Alright, let's look here. We're on Zillow right now. I live in New York, so I'm going to show you some New York apartment prices. Let's do 1 bedroom, 1 bath. And let's see how much that costs. Alright, look. 7 DeKalb Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. 1 bedroom. $4,400. You got $4,400 to pay for rent? Look, the apartment is nice and all, but is it worth $4,400? No. Let's do some calculations. Minimum wage in New York, I believe it's $15 an hour. It might have went up, but I'm gonna go with 15 for now. $15 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. Let's do that. That's $600. I'm not even gonna take the taxes out yet. Let's do that times 4. Because 4 weeks in a month. How you paying for that apartment with $2,400? Huh? Explain it to me. That's the responsibility you want to have? You want to have 2 jobs? To not be able to eat still? So you want to have 2 jobs? To not be able to have fun? Like, you don't want this. Let's do it by year. 12. $28,000 a year. What you supposed to do with that? That's chump change. That's chump change. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of people have to live this way. But let's say, okay, you make more than $15 an hour. You make $20 an hour. 20 times 40. Ooh, $800 a week. Times about 4, because once again, it's 4 weeks in a month. $3,200. Once again, how are you paying for that apartment? The math not mathing, is it? Let's do it by year. Mind you, I didn't even take the taxes out of any of this. $38,000. Getting a little bit better. Now, let's say you made 25. 25 times 40, 1,000. Alright, you getting somewhere, ain't you? We're gonna times that by 4, because once again, 4 weeks in a month. $4,000. You still can't pay to live there. A lot of people, depending on, you know, what you have going on, because even going to college do not guarantee you to have a good paying job. You're going to be living paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent on time, how you're going to eat, are you ever going to be able to have fun again? And you're going to be exhausted from continuously working, because you're going to have to work a job, maybe a job and a half, maybe 2 jobs. Some people even work 3 jobs. People got side hustle this, side hustle that. That's not no way to live. You want to rush to do that? Be my guest, but I'm not. I'm happy living with my parents. I love it here. Imagine working your 40-hour work weeks. Some people work more than 40 hours a week. So you work your 40-hour work weeks. You're getting chump change because the prices of living has skyrocketed. You're trying to figure out how to eat. You're trying to figure out how to pay your rent on time. You're exhausted. When are you going to have time for fun? Are you ever going to see your friends again? Are you ever going to see your family again? Are you going to have time to have any hobbies? Are you going to have time to maybe go to the gym if that's what you like to do? Are you ever going to travel? How are you going to travel with no money? All your money got to go to your apartment. The apartment that you got but you still hungry in. No. When you're younger, these aren't things that you have to worry about. You have way more time to try new things. You get to, you know, do more activities, have hobbies, play sports. Just overall enjoy life without something in the back of your head reminding you, hey, we got this to pay. Because that's what adulthood is. Money, 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 money. Sounding like Mr. Krabs. Like, when you're younger, you get to have stronger connections with people, with your friends. Because y'all have a bunch of time to spend together. You're in school all day together. Then you might hang out after school. You might be on the same sports team. You might be in the same club. Or you might hang out on the weekends. These connections are the connections that you keep for a long time. But because of all of the different responsibilities, these friendships that you hold so dearly to your heart might dwindle down as an adult because everybody is going through something. Personally, I feel like if you're going to focus on anything in the future, you need to focus on getting your foundations down. And by that, I mean, you need to discover yourself. Like I said earlier, you need to figure out what you like or you're going to have a midlife crisis. It's also important to think about your values. What do you value in life? What do you think is wrong? What do you think is right? Do you know right from wrong? Would you be okay if someone did to you what you did to them? You have to ask yourself these type of questions rather than, oh my gosh, how am I going to make money? Oh my gosh, what career am I going to choose? People go to college at all ages. You do not have to rush into it. You should not feel like you have to because somebody told you to. You can open TikTok, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Reddit, you can go on anything. There are a bunch of people regretting choosing their major when they were 18. They regret their careers, they hate their careers, they hate their jobs. Why would you want to live your life like that? And it's also important to have a strong sense of identity. You need to understand who you are as a person, and then what everyone else thinks won't matter to you, I promise. You need to use this time to develop skills like communication, problem solving, and critical thinking. And let me just say this, there are a lot of young people that have children, and it happens, but that should not be a goal. Do not rush into responsibilities that you cannot handle. You do not have to rush to succeed. I said it many times in this video, but I'm going to say it again. There are many celebrities that had their break at an older age. Oprah, she was struggling in her 20s. In her 30s and 40s, they was loving her. Vera Wing, I know y'all like her clothes. She didn't start designing until she was in her 40s. Now look at her. Think about Morgan Freeman. You feel like you see him in everything. But that didn't happen till he was in his 50s. Samuel L. Jackson. That didn't happen till he was in his 40s. Some other examples, Tyler Perry, 30s. Maya Angelou, I believe 30s as well. Might have been 40s, I'm not sure. Viola Davis, 40s. Right after clicking off this video, what you need to do is sit down, maybe write down all of the things that you've achieved or the progress that you've made, and calculate how long that took. It did not happen overnight. It did not happen in a month. It might have not even happened in a year. You need to appreciate the small victory. Remind yourself of all of the good things that are happening right now in your life, even if they're minor. You could write them down. You could get a little jar, or you could get post-it notes, or you could get a notebook and write it down. You can also use your phone, the Notes app, or anything. When you focus on the positives in your life instead of the negatives, you have a lower chance of having anxiety and depression. I also will say that you need to value self-care. It's okay to be a little bit selfish. It's okay to put yourself first. It is your life. Nobody else has to live the life you're living except for you. So you shouldn't let other people influence you or tell you what to do, because whatever they're telling you to do, tell them they need to go do it themselves. You need to take breaks. It's important to recharge, regenerate, rejuvenate, get yourself going, because you will burn out quickly, just like I said earlier. If you're confused about what to do for self-care, because self-care isn't just, doing a spa day at home all the time, but that is some people's self-care. Some people enjoy getting active, so going to the gym, playing sports, things of that nature, yoga, anything like that, skating. Some people might find some hobbies like learning how to do pottery, painting, cooking, making YouTube videos, making TikToks, trying different places to eat, having fun with your friends. And actually, despite a lot of people not talking about it, many people do enjoy meditating, and it does help. And I think that one of the most important acts of self-care is learning when to say no. A lot of people be trying it. You need to say no. Do not be a people pleaser. That's not cute. That's not okay. You need to learn when to say no, to prioritize yourself, because you will end up miserable. Exactly. Once again, do not rush to grow up. You do not want to have to worry about money. You do not want to have to worry about paying rent, food, taking care of children, having babies, who you're dating, who you're in a relationship with, what's happening, if they're cheating, if they're not. You do not want to have mental health struggles. You do not want to be burnt out. You do not want to be stressed. If there's one thing that you take away from this video, I need it to be that you need to enjoy where you are right now. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to set goals. It's okay to deviate from those goals. It's okay to embrace and enjoy every stage of your life. Slow and steady wins the race. What? Fast pace? Gotta take a break. Or whatever I said. I don't even remember. So my final message is, wherever you are in life, you do not need to have it all figured out. Do not feel pressure to have everything figured out. I do not have everything figured out. There are a bunch of adults that do not have everything figured out in life. And if they tell you they do, they're lying. It's everybody's first time here. After you watch this video, you should ask yourself, what do you enjoy the most right now at your current stage in life? What are you the most proud of? How long did it take you to reach this goal or multiple goals? Ask yourself, do you genuinely believe that you are ready for these adult responsibilities? And practice self-care. Practice self-care. Practice self-care. Keep practicing self-care. Practice self-care forever. Okay guys, I hope that you found this video helpful. Turn on the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post. And check out some of my other videos. If you have any more questions, you could definitely contact me on my Instagram or my TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.